Welcome everyone. Všechny vás vítám. Dobrý večer. Good evening. I would like to welcome you on the webinar of Dr. Weronika Wierusz-Hajdacka, who was actually the first DM user in Poland and is one of the biggest users in Europe at the moment. Dr. Wierusz is also cooperating quite closely with us, so she's giving us a lot of good feedback, and she's always on the top spot of the innovations and so on. So if you find something new, you can be almost sure that Dr. Weronika will be there as well. So thank you very much for coming. Let's start slowly, and Weronika, now the stage is yours. Enjoy.
Okay. Thank you very much, Martin. Hello, everybody. I'm really happy that I have this opportunity to present to you my work and my ideas about how to change, how to improve retention protocol using new technologies, technologies as dental monitoring. So I will shortly present myself. I did my dental degree in Warsaw, and then I moved to Italy. Italy was always with me. I learned Italian language during my school, and then I was not decided where to go for specialization. I wanted to go abroad. But I decided that Italy will be this place, and I found Ferrari University that was very focused on new technologies, and that's why I decided that I will try there. So from this place, I took the Invisalign, that, as Martin told, that I always was trying to do new technologies, so I started it as one of the first users in Poland, and then also because of lot of Italian connection, I started DM in 2019 as the first user in Poland. I'm the official speaker for dental monitoring, but I will share my ideas, and I'm always trying to share my work. And my work probably is also important for dental monitoring, because they are trying always to develop in a way that helps doctor to improve their business. I was before the official speaker for Invisalign from 2016 till 2023. I'm now working with Angel Liners, and we start working this year. Personal life, I'm the mother of 3 daughters, and I'm really trying to connect being good mother with my business and being a speaker. So I really like option with dental monitoring, because this tool gives me a lot of free time, because I'm able to limit to the minimum the time that I spend on the chair with the patient. So I'm working a lot, but I can also work from my home, or sometimes during holidays I can find like one additional day to check something, and doing that I can spend more time with my kids. So it's very important for me. So let's start. I will talk about the retention, and at the beginning I will show you 100 patients that finish orthodontic treatment in my office, and I tried to check what happened during the 1 year retention checkup, and I divide the group for half of the patients that finish the treatment and had the standard retention protocol, and other half retention protocol with remote monitoring. My standard protocol before remote retention control was we had during 1 year about 3 visits. The first one was retention appliance fitting, when we put the fixed retainer or we just fit the retention appliance, removable appliance. And then we had the first checkup after about 6 weeks, then during 6 months, and the last one was at the end after 12 months of observation. So this was my standard protocol, and already for many years I have included this 1 year observation in my price of the treatment for both aligners patient and normal bracket patient. And what about the remote monitoring patient? We have the same retention appliance fitting visit, but then we decide to do the scan with dental monitoring, and now we scan the patient every 4 months. Before we did also the test and we scan every 3 months. We also did like the same as the standard protocol. So we did the scan after first 6 weeks, then in a 6-month observation, and then in 1 year. So we did many trials, and the decision was that we will scan the patient every 4 months. It gives us the best control and also good cooperation with the patient. And we still have 1 visit after 12 months of observation. So this is like conclude the free retention that is included in price, and then we propose to the patient that they can buy additional retention, and that is already not included in price, so they have to pay for that. But we will talk about it later. And I checked that this was also a nice observation for me to see what kind of retention I'm using. So in both of the groups, we had about 30 patients that used only removable retention. So it means that in about 60% of my cases, I finished the treatment with removable retention. Then we had about 40% of patients with different kind of mixing removable retention with fixed wires. So now when I talk to the patient, when they decide, I tell them that most of my patients choose only removable retention. And now in the next few weeks, I would like to summarize also the stabilization that I achieve in both of this group, but this will be the subject for the next webinar. So during this 12-month observation, in the first group with standard retention protocol, we had 106 in-office visits. So it was about 2 visits for every patient, and we had 13 emergency visits. That was because of the removable retention, and 10 because of some problem with fixed wires. And in other groups with remote monitoring, we had about 80 in-office visits. That was the group include also the before the protocol with when we did the test. So not every patient had the scans every 4 months. Some of them had like every 3 and 1 additional visit. So, but it already gives us a lot of difference. So we had 80 visits during 1 year observation. It was 1.5. It was about 1.5 per patient. During this time, we had about 19 emergency visits. 12 was related with removable retention and 7 with fixed wire. During this time, we also had 8 emergency founded by artificial intelligence, so by DM. So the increased number of emergency visits was done because the observation was more accurate. And that's why I think we had like a higher number of emergency visits. And 24, we had also 24 emergencies that was fixed remotely. So we found some problems, but it was not necessary to call the patient to come to the visit. I will show both of them how we do it when we found some problem. So this is the retention protocol. I will explain it because I don't know if you are a DM user about retention with retention protocol. So we have like the first important thing, we have to download to the system the STL scan from the end of the treatment. It can be the same STL model that we use for removable retention production. And then we have the scan. It was already the old old protocol. So the first scan was after first month, but we see the date of the scan, and we can always check how is the fitting of the aligners. We can see which side of the patient we want to look on. We can see the teeth with aligners. We can see the occlusion, and this patient had a small relapse, but it was not a surprise for me because it was like the patient that we treat from the important third class. And on the left side also we see some relapse. And this is the first picture when we start the treatment. So this was the beginning and it was the end. So we can observe all the side of the patient, and also have some information how is the stabilization going. And this is the same patient that in one of the DM scan we noticed the small unfitting of the removable aligners, and then we have notification, and we can contact the patient and ask him to improve wearing of aligners or to choose on this tip. So you can see how it improves on the next scan when we ask the patient to improve the wear of aligners, the retainers. And also in this protocol, we can see the summarize of the movement. So we can see this. This is the summarize of the movement for mandible, the black line, and the maxilla, the green line. And in total, we had about 0.2 millimeters of movement in maxilla and mandible. So the case is stable. We can also decide that we want to look only on one of the two that is the most important for us. And we see the line that describes the movement. Each line describes the movement in other direction. And also we have like the angular information about the rotation, torque, and angulation of selected tooth. And this is another tooth. Normally we see slight movement from the STL model to the first scan that patient do after some weeks with removable retention. That is normal for me, but then I'm trying to I like to see that the line is constant, and it means for me that the patient is stable. And also the same tooth with angular information about the movement, torque, rotation, and angulation. This is the other patient with not only removable retention, but also the fixed retention. As for now, dental monitoring does not provide the information about the retainer's breakage. But I think for sure it will happen in the near future. But the reason why we look on this patient was that we had the notification about some movement in incisal region. So we look on the scan and we saw that there is breakage of the upper fixed appliance. We can also ask the patient to scan it more properly if we are not so sure if there is some breakage or no. And I will show you shortly. Okay, so this is this patient. The diastema at the beginning was much bigger. The patient was treated from January 22 till September 22, and the retention observation that we have was from September 22 till July 23. And I will show the case. In the meantime, if you have any question, please feel free to put them on the chat. So I will try to respond. Just, sorry. Yes. It's not this case. It's already not monitoring, so I need to find it. Okay, so we had we asked the patient for additional scan. Just to check if the retainers is okay, because we had some notification before the breakage. There was a breakage. I will show you on monitoring time. It was April 23. We get some information about slight movement of upper incisors, and that's why we looked on this scan, and we were not sure if there is some problem with retainers. That later was obvious, but during this time it was not sure. So we asked the patient to do some additional scan, and it was this one, explaining to the patient that we want to see the retainers. So this was the additional scan that we asked for the patient, and on this scan we decide that everything is okay. And the breakage that we saw on the previous slide was later. Okay, so this was this patient. And this is some additional patient that we noticed that we had some notification about the movement, and we have also notification that there is unfitting of lower aligners. And if you look on the movement, there was the movement with torque that we asked the patient. We called the patient that the aligners is not fitting properly, and we ask to wear better the aligners, and then we see that the position of the tooth turn it back to original position. So this is one of the example of the emergency that we can fix without the visit. So just calling the patient and asking them to wear better the aligners, and we had the notification from dental monitoring artificial intelligence. It's telling that there is some problem of this on these pictures. So let's going on. So what observation do we have during retention protocol? We will have some worrying about slight movement, and we will also have observation about the retention fitting. So we can have some worrying about unfitting, slight unfitting, and important unfitting. And the color, please don't look on the color. It's the color of my dental monitoring coordination that she divide the colors for some specific groups. So please don't look on them. You can decide if you want to be alerted or warned, or you just want to have the information. And when the notification is when we see the notification, when there is slight movement of the linear measurement between 0.2 to 0.5 millimeters, or 0.2 to 0.5 degrees with the angular movements. And noticeable movement, it's over 0.5 or over 0.5 degrees. So when the artificial intelligence find that there is some movement, we will get the notification, and that is the information for my DMC coordinator to check additionally the patient. So she opened the patient, see all the scans, all the information, and if she feels that it's really important, she asks me, and then I come. So we divide the work for DMC, and I'm not always asked to see directly the patient, only when my treatment coordinator feel that this is some problems. So how I plan my protocol, my remote protocol of retention. I will here talk about the benefit of using dental monitoring, not only about the cost, but also benefit as a time that we release in our office, and also the time that patient is saving using this technology. So here we can find the 1 hour chair time. In our office is about 100 euro. I did 2 tables. One is with 110 euro per hour and 90 euro per hour. In this chair time, I put all the costs that we have to pay if the patient will come to the office. So it's the base for all the reception, the flat, the things that we use for every cost that we have, except the cost of the visit, that is like disposal material of the or the cost of the doctors, that is not included in 1 hour chair time. So I did some simulation of the retention protocol. Here, with this orange line, you can find a free visit that we did before with the regular standard protocol. So it means that the first visit with fitting the appliance is not included here, because it's the same for both remote protocol and the standard one. So this free visit means that the patient was visiting me during 1 year observation 3 times. And in my office, I always schedule the visit for half an hour, because I work on at least 3 chairs. So we do not use the shorter time of reservation than 30 minutes. And we use it, that my assistant is chatting with the patient, opening the picture before and after, and of course me as a doctor is coming only for like 5-10 minutes, but the time in our calendar is always 30 minutes. So if the patient is coming for free visit, we use 1 hour 30 minutes. And this is the cost of this 1.5 visit. Then we use some cost of, then we use some disposal materials, so it's also additional cost. And here you can see the different protocols. So it's one visit that we do after 1 year of the retention protocol, because we always like to see the patient after 1 year, just to show them again the before and after, and just celebrate all the treatment. And during 1 year, we can use 3 scan, 4 scan, 5 scan. Now I use the scan every 4 months. So in most of my patients, I have about 3 scan, because this 4th scan is done mostly after 1 year of observation. So in most of the case, for this scan, patient already pay if he or she decide to buy an additional retention protocol that is already not included in the price. And then you can check it, what is benefit for the office. And we use the price, the cost of 1 scan, because you pay for each month in which patient is taking the scan, and the cost is about 14 euro plus taxes. And we calculated everything. So it's beneficial in cost, but this is not so important for me. For me, the most important thing is this. And if you think how many patients you have in the retention, it gives you the information how much time you can save and use it for different things. You can spend it with your children, you can go to do some sport, you can just use it for different procedure in your office, or you can use for the new patient. And it was the biggest change in my office when we start to use remote monitoring for retention for patient in a retention observation, because we have a lot of new patients, but we have also a lot of the patients that we finish, and that's in a big orthodontic clinic. It's in after sometimes it a little bit of the problem that we have a lot of patients that just came, and we are telling them, okay, everything okay, you can turn back in 3-6 months. So the decision that I want to have all my patients in dental monitoring during rotation was also done because one of my patients came and he told me that he spent more than 1 hour to come to my office, and it was only for telling him that everything is okay. And then I thought, okay, I'm using dental monitoring for orthodontic treatment monitoring, but why not to use it for retention? And then I decided that I will work and I will find the solution how to move all the patients to retention. So now I have all my patients in retention protocol, and I reduce the time that I spent on this patient. And this is also important. We save the patient the time of the patient that for sure need at least 15, half an hour to come to our office. And I think it's also very important. We have to think about it. Now I'm trying to sell my protocol after 1 year observation. This will be probably be easier when we will include in a package the guarantee, and I will talk about it later, how we can use it to fix some small relapse to the patient when we have this 3D monitoring. Okay, so let's going further. So now I will show the another patient that was treated in my office from February 22 till November 22, and we had the observation from November 22 till February 24. And during retention protocol, the patient used the fixed and removable retention, and I will show you how looks the proper teeth stabilization. Okay, so this is this patient. And as I told you that we have here STL model that we need to always download to the app. And we can see the models in occlusion from every side. Then we have the first scan that patient has to do just on the same visit or on the visit that we fit the retainers. And then this patient was in an old protocol, so the first scan was after 1 month, but we can observe everything. We have information about the hygiene, about inflammation. So it's not only the observation of the teeth, of the movement of teeth, and you can see that the line is straight. So there is like a really small movement, and we can observe it also for each tooth. For lower incisors, and this patient is using both removable and fixed retention. We have some question. Okay, maybe Martin, should I answer it now? What do you think?
It's up to you. I would leave it for the end, but
you will leave it later. Okay, so let's do it later. Okay. So this is the observation for stable patients. So during this observation, we have like nothing to do, but sometimes I look on a specific patient that I'm curious if the patient is stable or not. Okay, so we go. Where's... Okay, so this is the next patient that was treated from March 21 till December 22, and the observation is from January 23, and the patient paid for additional retention protocol that is not included in price, so it still go on. And she's using both the removable and the fixed retention, and we have also the proper teeth stabilization. And what I like also in this dental monitoring, that I have in one place every information. So I like to go to check also how was the patient at the beginning. So this patient had unilateral second class on the left side, was second canine class and second molar class, and I used unilateral distalization with Invisalign appliance, and we can always see before and after. And when I check the patient during retention phase, I like to go and see what was the problem at the beginning, so I know if the result is stable or not. Or I want to check specific tooth that probably, I don't know, I had the problem during the treatment. So it's really nice to check it. During this time in March 21, there was not every picture. So for example, this picture came during last probably year, and it gives us opportunity to see also the occlusion, the part, the bottom and lower, the upper and lower teeth from this side. So again, this is stable patient. We have when we go for the retention protocol, so the last one, we can observe that the patient is stable, and the observation still we still use it and observe the patient. Patient decide to buy a 2-year additional retention protocol, so she's still under our observation. Okay, so next. So this is a patient that was treated from July 21 till November 22. The patient was with hypodontia with upper lateral incisor, and the plan of the treatment was to move mesially molars, canines and to change the shape of incisors, the central one, make them bigger, and also to correct the shape of the upper canines and upper fourth to make them longer, to look more like canines. And we received a multiple notification on July 23. It was the holiday period. This is the young patient. So you can look here, and we saw unfitting of the lower retainer. The patient is only with removable retention, and we can look on the tooth, for example, 42, that we see here, that it's not in perfect position. Maybe it's more visible from here. Okay, so and here was the unfitting of the lower aligners. And if we go for this tooth, we can see that it was the mesial distal rotation there was distal rotation of this tooth, and we called the mom, telling that if Philip is wearing the aligners, and she admitted that he went for the holiday for some sport camp and forgot the aligners. And it was the scan just after he came home, and we saw this movement. So we asked the patient to wear properly the aligners again and the retention again, and we see that the movement, that the teeth achieve more or less the final position. So this is again one of the examples how to fix the problem without asking the patient to come to the office. So now we will talk about smart STL and the possible use during retention phase. We can use smart STL for additional aligners, for mid-course correction, or for retention protocol, and probably for many other things that we don't know now and will know them in the future. So I will present you one of the patients that was treated by me in Poland, but he lives in Switzerland. He's Polish, so he wanted to be treated by Polish doctor. And the main problem was for the patient was this upper right incisor. And this was the reason why he wanted to be treated orthodontically. And of course, he had also some crowding in the lower and rotation, important rotation of the lower canine. And he was really good in scanning. You can see that he did really great job. He scanned himself every week. And he was in my office only 3 times. The first one for taking the scan for diagnosis and all the diagnostic record. The second one for fitting the aligners and putting attachment. And then for the retention and for the teeth reconstruction. So I will show you his story. This was him at the beginning. Here we had the final stage of the first set. We order Smart STL. We download the Smart STL, and because in this patient, I was using Invisalign that do not accept the smart STL directly. I had to print the models, scan them, and then Invisalign accept. So this is a little bit stupid, but this is how it looks, that you have to scan the printed models to have it. So this was the scan that we use to produce additional aligners, because we were still not unhappy. We were still unhappy about the position of upper right central incisor. And this is the clean check. So here you can check on the left the first set of aligners and compare to the second one that we did from Smart STL from dental monitoring. So it was on the left the first phase, and here on the right you have additional aligners planned. And on second part we did only 12 aligners, and then was like passive aligners, just to help to the patient that we was not sure when he will be able to come to Poland. So this was a plan. And here you can see the scan just after the patient received additional aligners that we ship for him in Switzerland, and it was fitting perfectly. So till now, I didn't have any problem with fitting of the retainers or the additional aligners that I did using Smart STL. So I think it's really a good option for the patient that we cannot see in the office. And here you can see the final set. And I was still not sure if I like the position. So I ordered the additional Smart STL just to check and tell to the patient, okay, you are ready to take off this appliance. So how I did it, I will just show you. So we go for Smart STL. This is the orders for this patient. So one of these was used for additional aligners. And this is and this was the scan from this this date, and I like it. So I decided, okay, you can come to the visit. There was still some need for dental reconstruction, and we planned that the patient will come. We will do some bonding, put the and we will scan the patient for the retention, and then we will ship it to Switzerland. So this was this patient that I used as Smart STL twice. First for creating additional aligners, and the second one to check if the patient is ready to finish the treatment. Okay, let's going on. So this is the other patient where we used Smart STL to correct the small relapse that we noticed during retention observation. The patient was treated from August 21 till October 22, and he had only removable retention. And we received a notification about 3D movement of almost all 4 incisors. And firstly, we decided the additional observation. So this is this patient. Okay, this is upper incisors. And at the beginning, he had only removable retention. And we can check we get the notification already on the first scan. He was the one of the first patient that we used this remote protocol. So we used the first scan after about 4 to 6 weeks. And this was the information about the movement, 3D movement. And we saw it here. So it was going up, all the lines was going up for almost all upper incisors. Yes, so no of them was stable. And at the beginning, I asked the patient, because I saw this notification, I asked the patient to repeat the scan after 1 month and then after again 1 month. And I called the patient telling him that we have some problem with the stabilization of upper incisors. And I asked the patient without the visit in the office to change the aligners for the new ones. So here the patient changed the aligners for the new ones, and we see that it helps a little for going back to the achieved position after the treatment, but it was still not what we wanted. So here was the scan after change of the Vivera number 2. So the Vivera was new and give more force, and that's why there was some improvement. So we, on this stage, we ask Smart STL. Okay. And we can simply open. And I was not happy about this position of this both lateral incisor. That maybe the central incisor was acceptable, but this lateral, I didn't like it. So I told the patient that we will order additional aligners just to fix it, and after that I recommend to put fixed wire to improve the retention of this outcome. And I will show you what I did. So this was the patient. Okay, so we print the models, scan them. We need to print and then scan with iTero to be accepted by Invisalign. And then we did this small correction without no attachment, just to improve this relapse. The patient used 5 aligners. And this is the, oh, I have to again log in. And here I will show you the scan that we did after patient used these 5 aligners with the wire, and we order new Vivera for the patient. And because it was really nice patient and it was one of the first that we use retention protocol, and also I wanted to try the new features, we didn't take any money for this correction. But this is one of the things that we can propose to the patient, and to make more beneficial the remote control of the retention, and we can offer some guarantee for the treatment. And when we will find there is some problem, or the patient report the problem, we can check and without the visit decide if we can correct that. And this is my goal, to have it in my retention protocol that I will offer, I hope, in the near future to all of my patients, to have like more patients that pay for retention for longer period. And I think when I will tell them that I guarantee the position of frontal teeth if they come to my office for the cleaning or for checkup. It could be really beneficial for both of us, me as a businessman for the clinic, and for the patient that is regularly checked, not only for the stabilization, but also for the hygiene and for any problem that we can see during the scans. Okay, so I have one more patient. It was also the patient with some observation. Sorry. It was also the patient with observation during retention, and we observed some relapse on the 31, and this was observed from the beginning. Here. So here was some problems, and the patient admit that she was not wearing so correctly the aligners, and I didn't like this position. It was here that we decided that we will order the smart STL, and we will produce the additional aligners just to correct the position. And I will show you how it looks. It was this time in mandible. Okay, so this was the position that I didn't like. And using this model, this time the package of Invisalign was already finished. So we use our software when we use it for really small correction, like up to 5 aligners, and we use it to correct this situation. And because patient admit that she was not wearing properly the aligners, this time we ask money for new retention, and the wire that we recommended after this situation. And I will show this patient with iTero. Yes, this we achieved with the correction that we did, that we used the smart STL scan for planning the correction, and after that we scan again the patient with final correction, and we produce new retainers. So this is I will skip this part because I already talked about additional aligners. This is angel aligners that accept the smart STL scan, and I don't have to print it, and I can produce additional aligners without a visit for the patient. And here we can observe also the very good fitting of the aligners that patient is wearing. We send to the patient without need to see the patient, because the alignment was still needed some improvement. And why I like also the retention protocol, because I'm the perfectionist and I really like the good result. And during this time that I'm using retention protocol, I look much more the STL scan at the end of the treatment. So for example, this is the patient that I really like the outcome. I really like the final alignment when I see it on the chair and on the pictures. But if you go on the 3D scan, STL scan, you can notice that the alignment was good, but not perfect. And observing all of this STL scan gave me the new idea that maybe we should produce something like active Vivera, active retention. So I will show my ideas. And this is like the patient that I present on this slide. All these patients could benefit from this active Vivera. So when I decide to finish the treatment, I always take the scan and I put it in my software, and I check if there is final alignment really good. And I always look on the initial position to see better where is a potential of relapse. And I produce just 3 aligners and only 4 incisors, nothing more. And I ask the patient to wear it before we'll put the retention wire, or if this is the patient for just removable retention, we order the retention from this situation. So we order not from the scan, but from this setup. And it gives me like more pressure of this tooth that was mainly corrected in the frontal area. This is again the patient. So during this this study on my patient, I found 31 patients that could benefit from these active retainers, and now we use it for every patient that when we decide to finish the treatment, we check it and we produce like 3 additional aligners without no attachment. So we call it like it is pre-retainer, and then we give the retainer the patient use only at nighttime. So thank you very much that you attend till the end, and now I'm open for the questions. Please tell me also if you like it, if you like my ideas, and if you will start to use dental monitoring also for retention protocol. And I will just go through the question. Both are from Dr. Banneberg. Sorry if I read not correctly. So the first one is, after the treatment is finished, do you close, stop monitoring, and then open it later for retention protocol? I would like you to show how you do this. And I have used DM for almost 2 years now. Okay, so yes, when I go for the retention protocol, I stop the monitoring, and then I do the new, because I also need to change the protocol, because I have to do it like for the treatment. I use photo monitoring, and for the retention I use 3D monitoring light. So this 3D monitoring light gives me possibility to check the position, making always the comparison between the final position on the STL model and the scan that comes from the patient. So we need to stop and then start the new new observation. I hope I respond to your question. And another question is, only about 30 of my treatments are on dental monitoring. What about starting new, not the dental monitoring patient on for the? Yes, I have I have all of my patients in dental monitoring during the treatment, but it happens to me that some of the patients finish the treatment that was started before 2019. And then if they achieve the retention, I put them only for retention protocol. So you don't have to observe the patient during treatment to be able to start the retention protocol observation. So it's up to you. You can just decide also the monitoring only for retention. So it's not obligatory to that the patient was monitored before during the treatment. Okay, this is additional question. Does this only work with Invisalign or it's compatible with Spark? Yes, of course. Now I'm using with angel aligners and it's like the same, even better because I don't have to print the models and to scan them with iTero. I think the Spark, it's even better because Spark gives you the opportunity to export also the STL models with attachments. So I still need this in angel aligners, but it works with every aligners. Even it works for home aligners that you produce by yourself. If not, are the plans to integrate with partner? So I think I respond to your question. Any moment. Any other question?
There was only one other question, which I answered by the chat, and I will post it to the chat as well.
Okay.
So if there is no more questions, then
maybe you have just we have some feedback, not questions. So please tell me if you like it. And it's also important for me because it's always difficult to talk to the screen and where it's not possible to see your faces and see some yes or no. So thank you for this. Okay, now the hearts and some finger up is coming. So thank you very much.
We would like to thank you very much as well, Weronika. It was a great presentation. I'm looking forward to the feedback as well. We will deliver it to you as well. Thanks also to all the attendees. Thank you very much for coming.
I have one. If you have some like direct question to me and you was not able to ask, just please contact with me directly. I can put on chat my. You can see the chat. I think yes. You can just write me. I will try to respond.
And of course, the whole DM team is here as well.
Yes, so you can also contact through DMC team. But if you have some question regarding this webinar, feel free to contact me, and I will try to answer as well I can.
Okay, so once again, thank you very much. Everyone here should have the access to the recording after the webinar, so you can also watch it later or even watch with your colleagues or in your office. And I wish you all a pleasant event. And once again, thank you very much, Weronika, for giving us your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Nice evening. Bye-bye.